And we're live? Okay. Well, hello Facebook land from Rays of Hope. We're live here in our backyard in Marysville, Washington. I promised rain or shine, and we've got a little bit of rain going on, so we threw up a canopy and we're still out here and ready to talk. Wanted to start off tonight by talking about a little thing that happened actually on the way home. So today I was up volunteering with the Arlington Community Resource Center, which is where Peggy works, and she's the director there. And coming home, stopped at Olive Garden to pick us up a little treat for the night. And the poor people who were working the car side to go were frazzled. They were running back and forth. They were trying to keep up with 15, 20 cars in an atmosphere that they're not used to. And one lady gave away someone's order to the wrong car, and that car left. And I happened to be sitting where I could hear, and she was talking to her fellow employee, and she was almost in tears and just said, I don't know what's going wrong. And so I stepped out of my car and I stepped over to him, and just real quickly, I just said, hey, I just want to remind the two of you that these are not normal circumstances, that even when things are normal and everything seems to be going well, mistakes happen, and that it's perfectly normal reaction to get overwhelmed in overwhelming circumstances. So please, please, please give yourself permission to make little mistakes. Don't take it to heart. Don't make it feel like you're doing a bad job, because we all really appreciate that you're here. Real quickly with me, and I led them through that 4-7-8 breathing that we talked about in our very first lesson, which is breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and then breathe out for 8. I spent a minute and a half talking to them. Both of the Olive Garden employees looked so much more happy and ready to keep on going when I was done with that. And both of them made it a point of saying, hey, I really appreciate you taking that minute. So I just want to remind you that even in our little interactions that we have as we're going throughout our day, whether it's with our family, whether it's with our roommates, whether if you're an essential worker and so you're out and about, we can still make a huge, huge difference and impact for someone and make their day positive. Wanted to lead off with that story. But I promised you tonight we were going to be action-filled and we were going to have liquid lessons. So let's jump into that. We ready? Okay, here we go. So I have some props with me tonight. I would like you to think about these as being people. The plastic of the bottle, that's our outside. What's inside the bottle, that's our inside. That's how we work with our emotions. That's how we process trauma, stress, good things, bad things. Everything that happens becomes the liquid that's inside these bottles. Now, if I am using my self-care, if I'm using my coping skills, then even when things start to get crazy in my outside world, and I get pulled in one direction and I say, oh, I've got to do all this stuff for my family, and I get pulled in another direction and say, oh, I have to figure this out for work, and I get pulled in a different direction and I say, oh, I have to figure out my bills even though I've gotten laid off and I'm not sure what's going on with unemployment, and I get pulled in another direction and go, I wonder how my clients are, and I get pulled in so many different directions, and I get spun around and I get flipped, and my world feels like it's going a little bit crazy. If I've been using self-care, if I've been processing things, if I've been talking to people and doing the things to help, then even after all that shaking, inside I still have some calm. For this next part, I am going to move out from the canopy. So, Peggy, my wonderful camera woman, if we could move over here. If, on the other hand, I'm not using those self-care coping mechanisms, if I don't have someone to talk to vent with, if I'm not trying to reframe things, and I start getting pulled and we start shaking and I go, oh my gosh, I need to do all this for the home, and oh my gosh, what's going on with my work over here, and how am I going to pay my bills, and how am I going to pay my rent, and people are freaking out and I don't know what's going on and the world feels like it's crazy. What happens is that I blow up all over everyone in my life. I blow up over my family, I blow up over my friends, I blow up over my coworkers, my clients, anybody around me, and I make a mess. And I don't have nearly as much inside of me to be able to give to the world. Okay, let's move back under the canopy. So another liquid lesson that I'd like to bring there is that it's not enough just to do the coping mechanisms that we talk about. It's not enough just to go, well, I've got it going on, so I'm okay. Because what's really tempting for us, let's see, is that we go, oh, I have all the skills. Oh, I know what to do. In our case, oh, I know how to talk to other people and teach them about it. Look, I can take the lid off and look at all this good that I have and going on. And this is fine right now, but 5 minutes from now, my arm is going to be down here. And an hour from now, my arm is going to be down here. And it's not because I'm adding a whole bunch of water. It's not because I'm shaking things around. It's because I'm trying to do so much for so long. How heavy is a bottle of water? A bottle of water is not all that heavy. But if I don't take breaks, if I don't ask a coworker or a family member to help me process things and take some of that away from me for a little bit, share some of the tasks, share some of my grief, share some of my stress, share the good things, so that I can replenish my cup and be full to help others again, I'm in danger of losing that bottle of water. If I don't make sure that I sometimes set it down and shake my arm out so that it's not getting stressed, so that I can then pick up what I'm doing and help others again, that bottle of water is going to get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier till eventually I can't hold it anymore. This is the whole point of self-care, because that represents compassion fatigue. Compassion fatigue is the cost of caring. When we're trying to make the world better and help other people, we are taking on a burden as we're helping them. And we need to be able to set that down sometimes. We need to be able to share that sometimes so that we're able to keep on going. That's our liquid lessons for today. I want to move over into a couple of real practical things, and I brought notes for myself, so I don't know if you've heard of progressive muscle relaxation, but progressive muscle relaxation is basically it's the concept of identifying different groups of muscles, tightening those groups of muscles, and then relaxing them. Tightening them, relaxing them, tightening them, relaxing them. 3 times. So I want to show you a few exercises. I'm not going to go through the whole body today. We'll pick this up in future lessons. But today I want to concentrate on the head and shoulders, because that's where a lot of people hold their stress. So the first muscle group I'm going to talk about is the forehead. The forehead is this whole area here. And what we're going to do is 3 times, we wrinkle up our forehead really, really good. Can you get all those wrinkles? I got plenty of them, okay? And we hold that for 3 seconds. And then lift our eyebrows up as high as we can and hold that for 3 seconds. And then we repeat that 3 times. Then we want to move on to the area of our eyes and nose. We're going to close our eyes as tight as we can. 3 seconds. And then open them as wide as we can for 3 seconds. And again, we do this 3 times. So a whole lot easier counting than the breathing lesson that I gave you the other day. It's 3 sets of 3, or 3 sets of 3 seconds, okay? Got 3 more to go here. So our cheeks and jaws. We smile as big as we can, and then after we've held that for 3 seconds, we blow out for 3 seconds. So let me just do that real quick. Jaws. And I can feel those muscles clenching and then being released. Back of the neck and front of the neck, you can actually do these ones together. What we're going to do is, if I had a wall here, what I'd be doing is, if my hand is the wall, I'm going to press my neck back as hard as I can against that wall, keeping my body away from the wall, and that's going to tense up the back neck muscles. And then I'm going to bring it forward. That's going to stretch those back out, and it's going to tighten up the muscles in front. And so then when I come back to normal right here, so it's 3 seconds of this, 3 seconds of this, and then 3 seconds of holding my head in a normal place. Repeat that 3 times. And then finally, shoulders. I'm going to shrug my shoulders as high as I can. Hold it for 3 seconds. I'm going to try and get my shoulders to touch my ears. I hope that doesn't happen, because that means I've got something broken in my shoulders. And then I'm going to bring my shoulders back down to normal and hold that for 3 seconds. A few little tips of ways that we can take care of some of our physical needs in our body as we're going through emotional stress, as we're trying to hold that bottle of water out here. This is a way to set the bottle down, shrug our shoulders, smile, and enjoy our life a little bit so that we can turn and pick the bottle up. This has been Nathan Ray with Rays of Hope. We hope that you're taking care of yourself, wash your hands, and we look forward to seeing you next time.